To my 30th high school reunion, the guy I left with was the last guy that was sitting at the bar. So,
Okay then. All right. Okay. Okay. All right.
The
All
last
right.
guy.
His name was Willie too.
Yeah,
I'm quite
pretty
sure.
much.
Okay. His name was Willie. All right. She left with Willie.
you know, but she was like, hey, prior to that, I was the belle of the ball. I was turning cats down left and right. You know, I just, I thought I had plenty of time, but time has run out on me.
Did she feel like the time had ran out on her because her age or biological clock?
Combination of all.
Really?
Oh, yeah, she was honest. She's like, hey, I turned down some very nice men because, I had so many men coming at me from different angles, giving me pretty much whatever I wanted. The hard-working guy that came in didn't excite me.
Oh, wow.
Went in that so far.
Well,
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's get into that. Okay. I'm going to ask you some questions on that. So when she was saying that she didn't want to be bothered with the hardworking guys, or the hardworking guys, I'm assuming she's talking about like, the hourly guys, not the executive types or anything like that.
It was always a stigma, so to speak. So if this guy didn't have, I wouldn't even say a mansion and yacht, but let's just say a home in Bloomfield and access to a Maserati or something like that, where his future was, where he didn't have to worry about money. If he took her in, he was that guy who said, baby, you ain't got to work, I got this.
Just stay home.
Just stay home.
Okay, she was always looking for her, as God rest his soul, Kevin Samuels. I know, I ain't trying to piss nobody off, but that's Kevin Samuels always termed it as a high value man.
Yeah.
Pretty much, but I'm going to tell you though, she showed me a picture of herself when she was younger, and I was like, okay, I can see.
I can see that.
I can see how you
Okay.
got your way. But as she was trying to tell the younger sister, she was like, honey, I'm telling you now, you better make a decision.
Wow.
If this guy's doing decent, so what if he's, not making what you want him to make right now, but if he's doing something and trying, you might want to,
Stick with him.
invest in that.
Invest. Good words. Good words.
Okay, which makes sense.
Right.
It makes sense. Okay, from my vantage point and everything else, and then hearing what you're saying, it sounds like to me that we can wait longer because we can. We can. I mean, it's just what it is. But a woman, and she has a lot of things going through her head, and I'm quite sure a lot of it is based upon, okay, I want to do my career.
Right.
When do I want to have kids? Because kids slow down the process. We know that.
Right.
So now she's weighing all these different options, and so by her weighing these options, the clock is still ticking.
Well, us three gentlemen have had one opportunity. We've seen a lot of things come full circle. How many people have you run into that might not have given you the time of day back in the day? They glance across you now. It's like, hey, what was I thinking?
You're married? Yeah. Been married. I mean, yeah. And I think that's the crazy part about this whole thing is that now I think a lot of women are now realizing, because the big problem that, especially in our culture, and then by us getting older,
Right.
we're starting to see where, okay, the single parent, and then Dennis has talked about this a couple of times too, about the single parent homes, and then whether it's the male or the female, but mostly mostly the females. Now they're looking at, okay, I'm 40-ish,
Right.
40-ish, or older, in some cases 50-ish, and now it's okay to go with the girls to a cruise, but I would like to have some type of a male companionship.
Right.
But they don't have that. They have some friends.
Well, again, we've seen things come full circle. Remember when we were in college and we would go to a party, all right? It was not uncommon to have, guys and girls dancing together.
That was then.
Right. Now, women hit just all line dance.
Yes.
That's
right. He's right.
I always wondered, duh. Why are they always dancing?
Mm-hmm.
Now we know.
Now we know. You know, you may see, depending on the venue, now if it's a ballroom thing or salsa, then you'll see them partnered up. But for the most part, going to a club now, girls be doing every hustle.
Yeah, every hustle. Every hustle.
Yeah.
I don't know not a one of them to this day.
I mean, I know how some of the steps, but no, I don't do them or anything like that. And then I don't go clubbing either, but still, it's just one of those situations where it doesn't even have to be a club.
You're right. Oh, yeah.
You know,
yeah.
and
any venue.
I've seen it at weddings. I've seen it at, just, retirement parties, the whole nine yards. And it's almost like, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's almost like they don't want to actually meet men. You don't want to meet a man. It's clear that you don't want to have anything to do with a man because you're not even trying to associate yourself with one, but then you get pissed because he ain't stepping to you.
Well, is it actually that they don't want to meet a man, or is it that they don't want to break up the sisterhood?
Well, I think they want to meet.
I think
they want to meet the man on their terms, so to speak.
Oh.
I mean, let's think about it. What gentleman, if you have 18 girls and they all just doing the girl thing, you might send a drink over or something like that. But trying to get to know your conversation ain't gonna happen there.
No.
I mean, first you got to get the approval from all her girls, because if
18 of them,
if they ain't cutting their eyes at you, it's like, girl.
And you got the one that's sitting there trying to figure out why you talking to him. I thought he was gonna come over and talk to me. But he sent you a drink. He didn't send everybody at the table a drink.
And it's funny that
you got the hater at the table.
You had it was a video that went around where a guy was taking his girl out for a birthday, and she invited all 18 of her friends.
Yeah, I saw that.
And got mad at him because he ain't want to buy them all their meals.
Yeah, saw that.
I didn't see that one. Send it to me later.
Yeah, check that one out. When you get a chance, you got to check that one out. And see, when I watched that video and everything else, wow. It pissed me off because the assumption was that just because he had sent a drink over to one of the young ladies, that he was supposed to do it for everyone at the table. Well, let's be realistic. If he was interested in all 18 of them, then I'm quite sure he probably would have. He was interested in one. His mind had,
Right.
And then we've heard it time and time again, you've seen, that's the woman I want to talk to, I spotted her across the room.
Right.
That's who I want to dance with or talk to.
Okay, I got to ask this question. I hate to ask this question, but I got to ask this question. Were they black?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to tell you, it happened to our black and Hispanic sisters and Asian sisters, too.
No, but this particular video that we're talking
about.
It
was black.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I will tell you this. I did have a former boss who married an Asian lady, moved to, I'm not going to name the province, but moved to Asia. And they were more brazen than we were. There was a brunch place that he told me about where, when they eat, it shows prestige when you can feed the table. Well, $1,800 later,
the table got fed, didn't it? The table got fed, didn't it? Okay.
Now, in Americanese, everybody would have been a motherfucker.
Everybody. Yep.
Hey, but Jimmy, you asked a very interesting. You made a very interesting statement. You said that we can wait longer.
Yes.
Why? Why can we wait longer in terms of choosing a mate?
Well, and correct me if I'm wrong. We have the option of either an older woman or someone that's close to our age, or even younger. We have those options.
Also, too, there's certain things we ain't gonna put up with at this age.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're not breaking it, and you're not breaking your peace of mind, and you're not gonna break. And then we had our guest a couple of weeks ago, Willie, and Willie made it very clear that he's like, I don't have to take you. I don't have to be bothered with you. And then I think that's also, something that, and of course we're going to want other guys to call in tonight and then want to hear it from other females too. But I think that's a lot of what we see and how we do it. We become a little bit more locked in on how and what we want.
Right.
We don't have to take and be the guy at the end of the bar unless we are the guy at the end of the bar. So, you know what I mean? We don't have to be that.
Hey.
All right, so let's flip the script. So not flip the script. Let's reverse the script. If we have the options, how come a successful woman no matter what the color, in her 30s, 40s, or whatever. How come they don't have the options? How come they don't have the options that we do?
I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think that when it comes down to women that have already gotten into their 30s and their 40s and they haven't been married and they don't have any kids or anything like that, their focus has shifted into, and take it in, say, I'm just going to throw it out there. They get into their selfish mode. We all do. It's a human nature thing. They get into their selfish mode, and then they see that, okay, if I do this, I get this particular car. If I do this, then I get this particular house or condo or whatever. And then, I might squeeze in a little sex every now and again, because that's what it turns into. I mean, if I'm being honest, it turns in, you become a utility. And prime example, I was watching that video today of a successful black woman, and she made it very clear that she was an executive level, and she said that it was not uncommon for her to, get her rocks off when she needed to, and then but her focus would stay on building her career and building her brand, and that's exactly what she did. But then she found out by the time, because she looked to be almost 50 years old, if not 50. And she found out that she was alone. She had done all these different things and amassed all this material things and still found herself alone.
Right. Also, too, there, I would say, is somewhat sticker shock. Women on that plateau can't look at a man doing something else that could equate to that type of earning, so they could be yoked. So let's just say, hypothetically speaking, Walmart ain't the most glamorous of jobs, but if you are a district manager in Walmart, you're making $250. But when they see Walmart, it's like, dude, I don't buy.
Now, see, it's a difference between if they were working for, a mutual fund or something like that. Okay.
Right.
But if they're, I see what you're saying. If they're working for retail, I can't introduce him. He works for retail, but he's making $250,000 a year.
Yeah.
He ain't hurting in at least a little bit.
So this is the woman's. Correct me if I'm wrong. So this is the woman's perspective. It's not so much what he's making, but how he's making it.
That is correct.
But
no. Where he's making it.
Well, all right, where he's making it.
I'm going to throw another caveat in it. If it was a white gentleman making or working at Walmart and said he's a district manager, I don't think a question of income would come into play then.
I agree.
So what I'm hearing is that our sisters have a bug stuck up their butt in terms of what they want. No, I'm sorry. In terms of who they want and the qualifications that we have to meet in order to have a phone conversation.
The expectations.
The expectations.
Yeah.
So I'm making $250,000 a year, but I work at Walmart. You ain't got time for me. But I'm making $250,000 a year, and I'm working at Citibank or whatever. You know
now
what?
Now you're presentable to her friends.
So now let's think about it. When you go, when she takes you to that black tie, she don't have to talk for you.
Or talk around you.
Like you don't understand nothing because it's like, hey, this guy, he's quote unquote equally yoked. She would prefer you to have the dialect and everything like that. But
so, see, back up for just a second, and sorry for interrupting you. You said something that she said something I never heard. Equally yoked.
Yeah.
Which is a biblical term.
And when she said that, I was like, okay, so now we got a whole new something else thrown into the
right.
I mean, we can't get out of one to get into another. I mean, my goodness. She said equally yoked.
Right.
And folks, fam, if y'all know what we're talking about, definitely give us a call, 313-355-6018. Once again, 313-355-6018. We want to hear from male or female, and we want to get into this equally yoked.
There you go.
That to me, that when I watched that video and everything else, and then we'll post it out tonight too, because I want everyone to check it out too. But it's one of those things where I had never heard that term equally yoked.
In terms of dating?
Overall, yes.
Well, technically, it's used in marriage.
Yes.
That's when you would find your
But
mate.
it's still a biblical term.
Right.
It is.
Precisely.
It's bullshit.
I agree. It is.
And let me tell you why.
Okay.
I mean, statistically, there are more black women or women of color in college than men of color.
Yeah, we agree. I agree.
There are more black men or men of color in jail than women.
Okay.
Statistically, there are more. I don't know about this. I'm not sure, but I'm going to go with it. Statistically, there are more successful women than there are men. There are more women, correct me if I'm wrong, in the workforce today than men. Am I right on that one?
No,
Okay.
we're still there.
We're still there. We're more, well, I wouldn't say black men, but our counterparts are more in executive levels.
Okay.
Right.
You know, that hasn't changed.
They are more, you know, and I'm not saying unfortunately, our sisters are actually in a executive level than we are.
Yes, our girls are doing much better than we are.
No matter you look at, they are actually moving in that executive level role where, you know, 30 years ago that was something that we were striving to do, but they killed two birds with one stone because there's several black CEO women.
Right.
In fact, FedEx, American Express. I think there's one at Disney.
Black woman vice president.
But they're there.
Yeah. And, you know, I got to give them credit. They worked for it.
Absolutely.
That shit was not given to them.
It wasn't given to them.
Oh, no.
And I'm quite sure every day is a challenge. Every single day.
It wasn't given to them, but when you look at the broader picture, did they not have a step ahead of us? When you look at it, like I said, most of us were in jail. Most of us, we don't have college degrees. Most of us, we don't even have high school diplomas as proposed to our sisters. So in retrospect, I get it. They earned it. I totally agree with you. But didn't they, by purpose of gender, have maybe a slight advantage over us?
Not necessarily. Because I'm going to say, when you really think about it, it depends on the line of work. Blue collar, I'd say it's 50-50. In fact, no, blue collar is more male dominated. White collar is more female dominated. More
because they went to school.
They went to school.
Yes.
They had to.
Yes.
Especially, I mean, hey, we've heard it before. I mean, I know my father told my sisters, don't wait for a man to prepare.
I tell my daughters the same thing.
Exactly. Get it yourself.
Yep, go get it.
But it was not uncommon for other nationalities to, pretty much prepare themselves for a husband.
Gotcha. So once again, this concept of equally yoked is bullshit. We've never been equal to. Well, no, hold on. Let me slow down because I'm getting pissed. I mean,
take a drink.
I know that. Simmer down, man. Simmer down. Okay. Take a station ID and then we'll come back to your business.
All right. Damn. All right. You are listening to Puff and Drinks on Wjzz Cool TV. We want you to like. We're on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, yada 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 yada. We want you to like, subscribe. Let us know that you're listening. Let us know what you like. Hell, let us know what you don't like, and let us know what we can do better. We want you to give us a call and let us know what you're thinking at 313-355-6018. 313-355-6018.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. All right. This concept of equally yoked. Oh, let me put it this way. My ex-wife, when we got married, she made more money.
Okay.
I had good credit.
Okay.
So I don't know this. It just doesn't seem. It just doesn't make sense. Equally yoked. I mean, am I being too anal here? Do I have to make as much money as she does? Do I have to have a college degree? I need an education.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But again, it depends on the career path.
There we go. Yep.
At one point in time, man, I thought I had to be another Greenspan. Till I'm like, you know what I'm doing is stressing me the fuck out.
It's killing you.
you know?
Damn near killing you.
I don't think I can handle the rigors of being a CEO anymore. Nor do I want to.
Nope.
I'm happy to pay my freaking bills, go on some vacations, and be content. Mm-hmm. For some women, they're like, hey, I need a guy with the fire in his belly that want to climb that mountain. Well, baby, good luck in finding it, because it ain't me.
See, I think that whole thing with equally yoked, that's a new something that, I think that's being tossed around for, some of the women who are now battling going through that whole process of the corporate ladder.
Right.
And let's be realistic, our white counterparts, they look at the white women and then how they pull them through, and we know that. Black women don't see us at that level. They just don't, because we're not at that level.
No.
Not anymore anyway. Very few of us.
Yeah, it's a sprinkle over here,
Yep.
sprinkle there, but you know, I mean, we're sparingly, but you know, at the same token, though, we're not all bums.
No.
You know, which is highly apparent. I mean, for the most part, again, depending on your field of it, depending on your skill set and your academic aptitude, is going to depend upon what type of income you have.
Let's be realistic. A plumber, you know,
Yeah, plumbers are doing well.
If you're a plumber, you know, even your half worthless ass plumbers, they're making close to $150,000 a year. Yes, they are.
Yes, they
you
are.
know, I mean, they don't come to your house unless it's $150 an hour. And they ain't getting nothing.
They gave a diagnosis.
It's $150. $150. But see, I think this equally yoked thing is that, okay, if I'm a C-level executive at XYZ Corporation, he needs to be doing the same thing that I'm doing. That, I think, is where they're coming in with the equal
or
yoke.
more.
Nah, I hear the concept, but is it realistic from a woman's perspective?
Okay, if I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think it is realistic.
I don't think it is realistic.
But then that's why she was saying what she was saying, that she's alone.
But I'm gonna say this. I would say, and this goes back to the topic. You know, do we have more options? I think in the beginning, we fall behind, but as we get older, they have to catch up.
We do catch it. Yeah.
That is correct.
You know, all of a sudden, you know, like she said, she's alone. I'm willing to bet she would love to hear a man in there cracking some eggs and a skillet for her, fixing the TV, fixing the remote. You know, I mean, I'm going to tell you, I like the fact when my wife says, hey, I ain't even going to try and bother to fix this. You know what to do.
Same here.
Right.
Same here.
I like the fact I put gas in the woman's car. Honey, hey, my wife don't know. I don't even think she knows where the gas goes in.
You are going to pay for that.
I know your wife, man.
Yeah, me too. You are going to pay for that shit tonight.
He didn't mean it.
He's just kidding. He just kidding.
We don't want no 2 a.m. call.
You know, I know that's right. You know, we didn't script that one, y'all. Okay, so no, he'll have to deal with that shit later. So, but no.
So let me ask you. All right. From a woman's perspective, is it reasonable? Okay, so do they need to settle, or do they need to be reasonable?
Well, I'm going to tell you, because I've been in this, Jimmy and I have been in this field for a minute. And I can tell you, early on in their career, you could not meet certain women without her introducing her title first.
Absolutely.
I went one time, we were just out, we had a quick lunch, and I said, hey, this is Maria, Dr. Maria. I'm like, well, goddamn, you know, we just sitting around talking smack.
No. It depends on the company that you keep.
Right.
You know, and you know, let's be realistic. Some sisters, you know, when they get to a certain level and everything else, if they're sitting with like-minded like us, you know, all three of us for that matter, or, you know, even guys who are like us, their conversation drifts back to, you know, sister girl. You know, she's that sister girl. She grew up around the way, you know, and you'll have that conversation. Now, here comes, you know, Mr. Bobo and Mr. Charlie. Mr. Bobo and Mr. Charlie sits down, conversation changes.
Right.
The conversation has to change, and it does change because she doesn't want to be seen as that sister girl, and she will make sure that you know she is not sister girl anymore.
Right. Well, as long as she can turn it on and turn it off.
Yes.
You know, again, because we had certain brothers that the Paris Denard acting cats who couldn't turn it on. It's like, you know, we sitting around talking smack. I could care less how you enunciate.
Yeah.
You know, but certain sisters couldn't turn it off.
Nope. And they didn't want to turn it off because they were trying to assimilate too.
Yeah.
And see, but now it goes back to our whole topic and everything else. Do men have more options?
Right.
And see, I think that men, of course, still have more options because when we get older and everything else, if we haven't already been engaged or married, or we're coexisting, or you got a on again, off again girlfriend, that kind of thing. Our options are there. We can do these things, and we move in and out fairly seamlessly.
Yeah.
But when you're 50 plus years old, you have not had any kids, the clock has damn near stopped.
And they want kids.
Well, exactly. Some do.
Right.
Because there are quite a few women now are having children in their late 30s and early 40s.
Yeah.
And that used to be unheard of.
Oh, yeah.
Coming from our age bracket anyway, and everything else was unheard of. A woman having a baby at 42 years old. Shit, that's now common.
Well, it was the stigma too.
Yes.
Where, what's wrong with you?
Yep.
How come you couldn't have no kids?
Yeah.
It was the same way with the guys. How come you can't have no kids? You fixed or something?
Yeah. He must be gay.
Yeah.
You got fixed. Exactly. He must be gay. So yeah. Now that and we're not picking on our women. We're talking about our culture.
I think we are. We should pick on them.
No, well, I mean,
because let me tell you why. They have these freaking standards. They have these freaking goals.
And they have these expectations.
And these expectations that are messed up. I mean, if you got, like I said a couple of weeks ago, a relationship or marriage is like a contract. If you got 5 things you're gunning for, and if you can get 3 out of the 5, you need to go with that. So if a woman is looking at this guy, okay, he may not have the best job, but he ain't got no criminal record. He got good credit. He's got a nice car.
He owns his own house.
Or at least he's renting a nice apartment. Damn it! You better at least give this brother you better at least give him a second look.
Well, but I'm playing devil's advocate. When we were up and coming, how many girls did you give a second look to if she ain't have her hair right? Yeah, how many girls did you really give a care about if, she didn't keep the most clean house, or she wasn't as cultured as you would have liked?
Did she smell good?
Yeah, I mean, for sex, for those, but I'm talking about the girl that you want to walk around and show your mama and you got on the hand.
Okay, now, let's call a spade, and y'all both know this too. Here we go. All right. Hello, caller.
Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you tonight? All right.
I missed the first couple of minutes, so I'm understanding your topic is being equally yoked.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Well, that and do men have more options than women?
Wait. Say it again. Oh, crap. Did I lose you? You hear me?
No, we hear you.
Okay. So equally yoked.
Equally yoked, and then do men have more options than women?
In the later years.
Yes.
I believe you make your own options, being female or male.
Okay.
And equally yoked from a biblical perspective, which I kind of learned when I became married. I've been married for almost 12 years now.
Oh, congratulations.
Okay. I believe we have a foundation. And I could be wrong, but I feel like I am equally yoked with my husband. This is a little balance. Like whereas I'm a morning person, he's an afternoon person.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's all gonna come together.
Y'all meet in the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's about communication.
All right. Okay.
What female, I got the feeling that she was very successful and she did everything she wanted and planned to do, but she's lonely. That's her fault. She's lonely.
It's her fault.
Right.
And see, I will post that video out so that you can check it out too.
To take care of yourself, you have to take care of yourself before you can get somebody else to take care of you.
Yeah, that is true. That is absolutely true.
That's how I'm looking at it. And I do feel like y'all been picking on women.
Not on purpose.
No. We're not picking on anyone.
No, we posed the question.
Yes.
Again, you got to. The initial content was, and this pretty much came from a woman, and she told a younger lady that men have more options than women will ever have, and we just pretty much want to know if that's true.
I think that's focusing on the wrong thing. You know, as a female, heaven forbid, I weren't married. You know, I got it going on. I'm working on. I'm constantly taking care of me, trying to get better mentally, physically, and spiritually.
All right.
I can pull a younger guy.
Okay, so tell me this much. Don't you have girlfriends, and I'm assuming you're African American, don't you have girlfriends that are over the age of 40-ish that have never been married, but they may put their career ahead of a man and that kind of thing, and now they're at that point where they're now trying to figure out why they're still alone?
All of the above.
Okay.
I don't hear them boo-hooing. They all taking care of their business. Some have been married and divorced, have had a few successful and unsuccessful relationships, but we keep it moving. A moving target is hard to hit.
True, but a moving target never gets caught.
I mean, but if you
I like that.
all right, you're trying to take care of you. When I got with my husband, I took out the garbage. He said, "You take out the garbage?" I was like, "Well, I put the last bit of garbage in the bag, so I filled it up. I took it out."
Yep.
Okay, I'm not mad at that. Cheers.
You are unique in this world.
Thank you.
You are from Earth, right?
That's common sense. That's not so common. So I don't think if he had male roles and female roles, he cooks. He loves to cook.
Yep. There we go. That's what I do. I do all the cooking.
Now I cook for pleasure, but I'm not gonna beat you down to get in the kitchen. I'll cook. I'll clean up. You know what I'm saying? Our roles have changed. Times change. You change with it.
Right.
Okay. All right.
But see, you're coming from a world where being thoughtful and compromise and working together, that's us. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, gentlemen, I think we kind of talking about maybe the younger.
Yeah, I was going to say.
The younger.
Yeah.
Ding-dongs. I'm sorry, the younger.
You got old ding-dongs too.
We got.
There you go.
You don't get to be an old ding dong unless you was a young one. So.
Right. I don't even think it's about that, because you're doing the young people that are out shaking and moving, doing what they need to do, building their future, doing all those good things. You're doing them a good service. That's just like, I don't want to say it, but I'm gonna say it. It was a TikTok video or something where an African American female was talking to somebody, interviewing her, saying how single women raise criminal black boys.
That sounds like a Jason Whitlock.
Yeah.
Because that's not true.
That's not
Now
true.
that is far from the truth.
And then we are going to explore that soon too.
Male role models in his life. And he ain't never been in jail, ain't never been arrested. You know what I'm saying? That's wrong. That's just like something I heard years ago. If you want to keep some information from black people, put it in the book.
Ooh.
All right.
Yeah.
All
right.
Just don't do. We do ourselves a disservice talking like that.
All right.
I agree. All right.
Well, thank you so much for your comments, caller, and we'll give you a drink.
Yes.
We will drink to you.
Thank you.
All right, toast it up for me.
Yeah, you have a great evening. All right, once again, you are watching Wjzz Cool TV. You're watching the show of Puffin Drinks. We are on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, yada, 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 yada. I can't remember the other one, so whatever.
We're just on them.
Yeah, we're just on it.
And we're live right now
Yes.
on Facebook also.
We want you to like. We want you to let us know that you like us. Sponsor. Let us know that you're here. I don't know why I'm stumbling over my words. I haven't been drinking that much tonight, I promise.
Hey, but this is some good shit.
Yes.
Yeah.
we want you to like, follow, share, comment, subscribe. And please, 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 if you have something you want to share with us, by all means, give us a call at 313-355-6018. Our topic for tonight is, do men have more options than women in the later years? What do you think?
We want to hear from some guys. If there's some guys out there and everything else is watching us tonight, we want to hear what you have to say about this, because we think it's important that we hear your perspective. we know in our minds and everything else that men have more options the older we get. We know that.
You know why? I think we have more options simply because we're more open-minded. We don't have, well, he has to be making this much money, and he has to be this tall, and he has to be physically fit, and he has to, wash the dishes and take out the trash and rub my butt. All that. Now, that's just me. It just seems to me that women have these standards, these expectations
Yes.
or requirements. Now, don't get me wrong. I think we as men do too, but I think we're more flexible.
Well, again, early on, I'm not going to lie. I thought initially I was going to be a corporate exec or a CEO. I thought I was going to be married to a newscaster with a British accent.
Wow. I didn't see that shit coming, but okay, all right. Okay.
So, I mean, hey, I'm doing well, but I still got a beautiful wife who looks like a newscaster. So,
There
hey,
you go.
I'm good to go.
You're comfortable.
I'm comfortable.
You're comfortable and you're content. I think that, some of the, and I'm still going to just talk about our sisters and everything else. I think a lot of the sisters too, especially who are now degreed, they've got into their profession.
Right.
They don't even call it, a job. It's their profession, their career, that kind of thing. They're looking for the same thing across the board. And it used to be at some point in time that, okay, having a man that was honest, who treated you right, that respected you, you were happy and content with that. You didn't care one way or another. But now this whole concept of equally yoked.
Yeah.
And do understand, we're not talking about the equally yoked. We're talking about, do men have greater options? Yes, I still believe that men have greater options, but I also do believe that women also miss the opportunities with us because they're setting too high of expectations.
Right. There we go.
All right.
Agreed 100%. Hello.
Hello.
Do men have more options than women later in life?
That is correct.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm.
But I always have more options than women later in life, so I don't really understand the question.
Well, the question is that it's really kind of sort of we're posing is that, when men get older and everything else, whether they're in their late 40s, 50s, 60s, that kind of thing, that they have more options as far as picking the, wanting to actually spend time with whoever their companion is.
What do you think?
I mean, men always have more options. There's now because women, because they have been more progressive and they've climbed the corporate ladder, they have more resources, and so now, in the past, they would have to have some type of financial standing to be able to have more options with younger and older women. But now the women have money, so they'll even take the dude that doesn't have his finances together as long as he can be articulate. She can take him out. So to me, the men have always had more options. They have more options now than ever before.
Yes, that's absolutely true.
And it's funny. That's what the lady indicated initially when this topic first came up. She was talking to a younger sister who, thought that she had the world by the balls, so to speak. And the older lady told her, it's like, hey, listen, if he's doing above the basic, you can work with it. But, don't discard it.
I think a lot of the sisters are actually kicking brothers to the side.
The bigger question for you guys that I would like to hear your thoughts on is, what happened to the masculinity as a result of this? Because it means that men, they're not really necessarily having to be men anymore. It's like they're taking on a more feminine position because they're not leading. So then what's going to happen to society, when men are not men anymore? Like, I want men to come back.
Well, I think the men are there, but I also believe that women, when they actually have how can I put this tactfully and everything else, when they actually have a foothold or a foot on our neck, that they do start the process of emasculating men. They do it. It doesn't matter if it's black or white.
What do you mean by that, Jimmy?
Okay, and I will explain that women, when they get to a certain point and everything else, and if that man hasn't gotten to that level where she wants him to be, she will actually emasculate him. She will take and say, oh, you ain't got this, you ain't got that, you ain't got this, you ain't got that.
You're not making enough money.
And then after a while, and I'm gonna be honest with you, after a while, that starts to permeate into that man's psyche.
Yeah.
You say you want to be with this guy, you say you love this guy, but then you turn around and then rip him apart because he's not on your technical level. Well, okay, he may not be on your level, but you knew that when you met him. Shit, it wasn't nothing new.
Or if you compare him against someone else.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, my friends, she's dating this guy who's, has all of this going on. Why don't you be a friend to him and he can guide you along the way? Well, I don't like that motherfucker.
Have you talked to so-and-so?
Yeah.
I'm just talking to that motherfucker. I don't need to talk to him.
All right, caller.
Thank you, caller.
Okay.
All right.
Have a good night.
So it basically sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, if women have less options, it's because they're shooting themselves in the foot. It's okay to want a man to do this, that, and the third. But if he's doing this and that, and maybe not the third, give him a chance.
See, I don't know if they want to give him a chance. And then even as Rodney was talking about, even the older woman that was talking to the younger woman and everything else, she made it very clear you can miss your Boaz.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna take it from a biblical standpoint and everything else. And then some women, the first thing is I'm looking for my Boaz. I'm looking for my your Boaz was that cat that was that broke ass. Yeah. He is no longer the broke ass. He is now Boaz. But you don't want to be bothered with Boaz.
Well, and
that's why he's got options out the door.
Well, I'm gonna throw a major caveat in this. And this pretty much goes to men and women of a certain age. When you meet someone, and you don't have to be a CSI detective or what have you, but you can deduce if this person's full of shit within right away.
Absolutely.
Pretty quickly.
Before anything happens, you could ask some of the most basic questions, and this person can get themselves away.
Yep.
But you deal with them anyway.
Yep.
Why?
Well, and let's be realistic.
You're right.
And please, I've heard the term, some penis is better than no penis at all. And that is also setting them up for failure too. Because they're looking for, this so-called Mr. Boaz. Well, Mr. Boaz doesn't exist.
Well, but you know what a lonely Friday night does?
Yes. Saturday night too and early Sunday morning.
Shoot, come Christmas time, it's like, I sure would love somebody to roll up next to me.
Where's my Yuletide?
And all you have is your rose.
Yes. Yeah. Well,
or you become the cat lady.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my God. and see,
man, you guys are bad
ladies, see, ladies, what we're trying to say is that men, when we get to a certain point and everything else, we have, and I hate to describe it this way, but we do have our pick of the litter. We really and truly do. We know that women outnumber us. We know that.
Right.
So if we're at a certain point in time, we don't have to take and wait until we decide, this is our expectations for you. We don't. You do. You will set expectations because you want to make sure that when you're at the cotillion or, you're at the next function or whatever, that this cat that you brought with you, he matches that.
Rises up to your level.
He ain't working at the car wash, He's the head towel guy. He's putting on the pina colada.
But you still also miss one concept. In those scenarios, women build a man.
No, they can build a man.
No. They will have pieces of different men. Ooh. They'll have the one guy who's the intellectual.
I see what you're saying.
She'll have the one guy who just come by and creep. She'll have the other guy who's the fix-it guy who come by and fix whatever she needs. She'll dangle a little bit of this at him just so she can keep him on the tail. She'll also deal with this intellectual guy who might stimulate her mind, teach her how to read a book, You know, I mean, hey, but it's pieces of that man if they can't get that man that they want.
So you can't get the whole, so you just take parts and pieces.
Parts and pieces. Frankenstein monster.
See, I don't think men do that.
Nope.
Men don't do that. We'll find what stimulates us, and then that's typically what we stay with.
We'll stay with whoever gives us the least amount of aggravation.
Ooh.
So she could be, so
Shit,
she
we
could
got
have
a
a
couple
job.
minutes left.
She could be dumb as bricks, but she don't give you no problems.
Let's think about it.
That goes to what we said before. We have greater options.
Exactly.
Wow.
I mean, if she is not nagging you, belittling you over the smallest thing, which you already know that she's antagonizing you with, I'm going to stay on this camp.
Wow.
Opposed to going over here where it's like, oh my God, are you breathing?
Exactly.
Shit, the hell with this?
Yeah. I'm not putting up with this crazy. That's that special level of crazy. Okay. All right. Well, walk us out.
All right, look, we got about, what, 2 minutes left? Is that right?
I think so. Well, shit,
I don't know.
I don't.
All right, well, look, ladies, my suggestion is it's okay to have a wish list, but that wish list is not in stone. Okay, let's be reasonable. Let's show some flexibility. Like I said, if you got 5 options, if you have a wish list and he meets 3 of them, you might want to give him some time. If he meets 4 of them, you really need to give him some time. He ain't gonna meet all 5. That just ain't gonna happen.
And let's be realistic. They're not going to meet all 5 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, again, you know the basic bailout signs, which she will give to you very early before any interaction happens. I mean, if you just met this girl and she's like, yo, give me your Cash App, you know, or what bill you gonna catch?
Yeah.
You could be like, baby, I'm
kind
gonna
of car
spare
you
you.
drive?
I'm gonna spare you a lot of issues.
Yep.
I'm going to the bathroom. I'll be back in a moment.
Yep. You're going to be paying for your meal.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. You're going to be like Oyster Girl.
Oh God, that shit.
Yeah.
Everybody saw Oyster Girl.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
All right. I think we're about done. Another stimulating episode of Puff and Drinks.
Yeah, and check us out on Facebook. And if you haven't, email us at puffanddrinks@gmail.com. Puffanddrinks@gmail.com.
And we'll let you guys know when our venue is hosted at a local tavern, local cigar place, and we would love for you guys to come out and join us.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm Dennis Scott and Jimmy Jefferson.
Y'all have a good
Rodney
night.
Q.
Rodney Q Love, and we are done. Have a great evening, and give us a call. Give us an email. Let us know you're breathing.
Yes. Have a good night.
Have a good
folks.
night.
Have a good night.
Cheers.
Cheers out.